This is the Gemini full moon forecast for December 7th, 2022. So we've got the full moon at 16 degrees Gemini, and of course, naturally opposing the sun at 16 degrees of Sagittarius. And the moon in Gemini is connecting up with Mars retrograde and Gemini. So, what is this about? Well, Gemini is about communications. It is the third house. It is about the written word, the spoken word. And Gemini is about all forms of communication involving travel. It's about this need to express ourselves. And Gemini, as Sagittarius, are all about feeling lively. There's going to be this sense of humor, which is wonderful. But we've got this full moon in Gemini conjunct retrograde Mars. And with Mars in Gemini and the moon, we just can't say it, we can't do it, we can't go here and there enough. But with Mars retrograde, although this is wonderful, our communications are going to be very sparkling, very fast, very quick. But Mars, yes, indeed, will be putting on the brakes. So, in our effort to want to really say and do what we want, what we feel, and so on, and be very expressive, there's a lot of light banter here. Mars is putting on those brakes. So, just be prepared now for the continued delays, and that can be frustrating. We may want to negotiate. We may want to carry forth a plan of action. We want to make plans for the future and so on and so forth. We want to move fast. But with Mars, yes, indeed, and Mars with the moon and with the sun in Sagittarius, yes, yes, will fall into that wonderful mutable sign T square with Neptune. Yes, now Neptune is finally direct, but nonetheless, with the moon, full moon, and Mars in Gemini, the sun in Sagittarius, well, what is that about? It's always about with nebulous Neptune, kind of putting not just the brakes on things with confusing retrograde Mars. It's about what? It's about confusion with facts and information coming out now. And it's about our thinking and our communication, our mode of expression. Are we doing the right thing? Is this the time to take that trip? Are these plans that are being made correct? And in fact, if you are thinking about traveling long distance, even short distance locally, my advice would be definitely to make sure all your plans are zipped up just right and organized well, because yes, we could be somewhat accident prone in our need to hurry, get it done, go about our days, and so on. And with this Neptune connection and our thinking being a little bit dulled slightly, yes, we may have unforeseen obstacles that come about. So again, make sure all travel plans are crystal clear, because right now during this full moon in Gemini, yes, our thoughts and everything and anything that has to do with expression, and yes, there's that communication word again, will be rather uncertain. So we also have to add to that now, we've got Venus, and that will square off with Jupiter, the lucky gregarious planet, Jupiter in Pisces, and with, yes, nebulous, the confuser, the deceiver, Neptune. And what is Venus? Venus is about our affections. And with Venus in Sagittarius, it's about really being free spirited. We want to feel liberated to really express our love and our desire. We really want to just be free to give our loved ones freedom to say what they believe. It's about, especially with the Sagittarius connection with the Sun and Venus almost into Capricorn, in fact, making an out of sign conjunction with Mercury in Capricorn. It's about really giving each other space, and it's about tolerance. If I had to say anything with this full moon, it is indeed about tolerating others' views. But yes, indeed, we have that planet of affection squaring off Jupiter at 29 degrees Pisces and Neptune at 22 degrees. And as always, this will add some uncertainty to our affections. So, yes, indeed, the love sphere, so to speak, will be a little bit shaky now. If there are some uncertainties within your relationships, and here again too, this is the time that you want to discuss any issues or problems that crop up now. And as always, whether it's this mutable T-square involving the full moon, Mars, Sun, Neptune, and so on, or Neptune and Jupiter making this square off to the later degrees of Venus and Sagittarius, it's about what? Secrets. It's about withholding information. So this is not the time to hold back what needs to be said or hold back information, because that will only muddy the waters of confusion here, and especially regarding love. As aforementioned, if there are any issues or problems that crop now because of information that is not being brought about, this is the time to actually bring out that pertinent information, and especially when it is stressed with the mutable T-square. And publicly, this will also be a topic. There may be some discussions now regarding something that is very highlighted, very important, that's very newsworthy, where it's a bit of a mystery. We have to figure out what is going on. And Neptune is always creating that uncertainty. And what is the answer? What is the mystery? And that's going to involve us personally. We may be a little bit thoughtless to some degree in our decision making, and very much hurried to get things done, we're not thinking, and that could trip us up. And in this case, yet, that does involve Venus. So don't be so in the need to get answers to go about what you want to close the book on something that you're not thinking, and this creates more issues. However, during this time frame, we will also have Venus then move forward to the sign of Capricorn, and it will apply a conjunction to the communicator of Mercury. Now, in very conservative Capricorn indeed. So our thoughts are going to be more about liberation and really all about our personal opinions and freedom loving sense of lightheartedness and humor and fun loving Sagittarius going to the very business like, very goal oriented, powerful Mercury in Capricorn. So this, because it is out of sign with the communicator Mercury and Venus, the planet of affection, going into Capricorn, that will then start to, yes, give us this sense of what? Duty, responsibility about all of our love and affection. So it's going from feeling free-spirited and spontaneous to now we're going to be just feeling a little bit more reserved. And although at first we're going to be a little bit confused in our thinking about love and romance and our affections and our feelings, we are now going to feel more dutiful, responsibility oriented, and that can kind of put a little bit of a damper on our affections, taking a little bit of a damper out of our enthusiasm with this very zesty full moon in Gemini. So eventually, of course, Mercury and then Venus will apply a conjunction later on in December with powerhouse Pluto. But that's for the next new moon reading. But in the meantime, with Capricorn, yes, just be actually more expressive, because you don't want to feel so held back or so stoic in your feelings and your expression towards your loved one. This puts kind of a chill on love and romance. But nonetheless, Capricorn is very responsible. So even though it's not very energetic and it's more about doing the right thing with love or romance, and it can be kind of business oriented as far as our thoughts and more goal oriented about our desires for the future, it is also that of responsibility. And it's our sense of responsibility then once Venus and Mercury come together. Now we have Saturn. The beauty here is Saturn is at 20 degrees of Aquarius, and that will make a wonderful trine to the moon and Mars in Gemini, even with Mars retrograde in Gemini. So this kind of increases this light-hearted, lively atmosphere, kind of creates this desire to really communicate intellectually, have light banter, maybe even debate that's, well, rather friendly. And then you've got the sun in Sagittarius making a sextile to Saturn. So that is very kind of fun loving, uh, very intellectual, all about communications, and there could be some kind of an invention right now with this very friendly atmosphere with Gemini and very inventive, future oriented Saturn in Aquarius and future oriented Sagittarius Sun. This is a time that we will be, yes, very forward looking about the future, about technology. It's going to be, yes, very future oriented. And with this connection with Gemini and Sagittarius, and even to some degree the late Venus in Sagittarius with Saturn in Aquarius, there's going to be a lot of talk about possibly new inventions. Yes, technology, the future. This could be connected with AI, could be connected with social anything, social media, changes being made, and so on and so forth. Kind of a fun loving full moon in Gemini. But we cannot overlook yet this Uranus and the North Node in Taurus, and that makes a wide square off with Saturn in Aquarius. So, yes, there could still be issues with earthquakes. Yes, there could be issues with a little bit with groupthink, chaos, the collective, and so on, especially since the depositor of Saturn in Aquarius is yet Uranus in Taurus retrograde. So do be cautious of any kind of sudden conflicts or any connections connected with the public where there could be disagreements and so on. Watch out for bullying. But within this whole full moon chart right now, at least there's more lighter, I guess you could say, somewhat happier connections with this Gemini, Sagittarius, yes, and to some degree, even the Pisces connection. And what's really nice here, too, is we've got Jupiter at the 29th degrees critical Pisces before it will go into 0 degrees critical Aries. Is there may be something paramount uh, uh, regarding some kind of a historical find or something regarding the past with history that may also be making the news now. And with Neptune and now Jupiter both direct in Pisces, this is also going to be good news for water, or that which is representative oils, minerals, and so on. But yes, look out for some kind of very important or historic find. And of course, we've got Pluto, the power planet, in Capricorn yet. And that will make a wonderful, productive water, earth, sextile to both Jupiter and Neptune. So indeed, to top off this full moon in Gemini chart, this is very good for projects that we want to get going. There could be discussions about partnerships and continuing that theme of making plans for the future, which is very good. We're going to feel like during this next 30 days, we will get a lot done. And it's a very creative aspect too. Neptune with Jupiter. So we're finally going to feel like luck is on our side. And it's a time of great visions. It's kind of a mystical connection with Jupiter and Neptune. Very creative. Pluto, sextile Neptune, and Jupiter. Creative and productive. So, to surmise this wonderful, sparkling Gemini full moon, it's all about communications. It's all about restlessness. But we have to be careful in our desire to hurry up and travel and to get things done, say what we want to say, do what we want to say. We have to be aware of that fuzzy thinking and confusion. It is a time that there could be information that is hidden from us, and we will have to in turn not keep information. By the time we get to the next new moon, whatever is hidden now will be brought to light at that time. But nonetheless, if we can keep all of our communications crystal clear, and we can apply sensitivity to all of what we say and all of what we do, kind of zip up our travel plans, slow down our need to relate and debate, pull back a little bit on this need to be combative because of the Uranus-Saturn connection there, the square off, then this Gemini full moon will be full of humor, full of fun, and lighthearted. And until the next moon report, many, many blessings.